But there you go, there's my review on these beta test paints for the whitest paint that may potentially be in the world. That sentence did not make sense. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I've got an extra video out this week because the postman delivered some paint for us and I just couldn't wait to try it out. Now if you've been with my channel for long enough, you'll know that I've tested out a few different paints from Stuart Semple and Culture Hustle. I tested out their black 2.0, their black 3.0, and I tested out their full range of acrylic portion paints. And for the most part, they've been pretty damn good. They've been really good paints. So I am excited today to test out white 2.0, or the beta version. So this batch of paint isn't necessarily the finished product. They're just kind of shipping it out to artists to test out to see what works best for them. And then obviously they'll formulate it to the finished product. But I think they're still going to be pretty good, so I am excited. I'm excited to get this paint swatched. Okay, so this is it here, and it cost me $11.99. So although it's a test and whatnot, I'm still paying for this, so I want the paint to be decent. And it's white 2.0 beta, the world's whitest white paint. And there's 3 different kinds. So you've got some images here on the website, and strangely enough, they haven't added any swatches of the paint, so it's quite difficult to see what the paint actually looks like. Obviously they've painted this here, so you can see it a little bit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare it to some other white paints that I've got. I'm going to swatch it, I'm also going to add water to it, and then I'm going to add some thickening paste. So I'm going to go full on experimental with this. It says on here as well that each white has different characteristics, from crazy opacity, great durability, and importantly the ability to reflect up to 99.6% of visible light. So with that, each 3 of these paints must be very different from one another, if they're saying that they do different things. It's also got some information on the website about where the whitest material comes from, and apparently it comes from this little beetle here. I don't think it's got crushed beetle in here though. I'm sure I read somewhere that it doesn't have beetle in it. And then of course we've got the little bit of information here about who's banned from buying this product, because obviously they hate colour criminals like Anish Kapoor. And there's a few other here as well, which I didn't realise. So you've got T-Mobile. What did they do? And its parent company, Deutsche Telekom, for claiming magenta as their own and suing small businesses for using it. I didn't know that. That's disgraceful. Some scientists have been banned. Daniel Smith's been banned. Yes, Daniel Smith, you. Because you stole gold pigment. Rude! Right, so what is it and how to use it? You will receive 3 bottles of white paint. Each contains acrylic paint that can be brush applied or mixed with water to spray. We would love you to use it just like you normally would use your paint in your work and projects. Apply with a brush, leave it to dry, and recoat if you like. Just wash your brushes with water, don't eat it, paint your skin with it, drink it, tattoo with it, or feed it to the cat. Well, I don't have a cat, and I promise I won't eat it myself. Yeah, and then being a part of the beta program as well, they're going to send me an email and I get to fill it in for my evaluation. But I'm also going to do this video, just so you know too. And then they said, thank you for being with us on this journey. We are so excited to see what the community can create together. We love you. Well, I don't know you well enough to say I love you too, but I think fondly of you. Right, let's open it up, see what it's like. Okay, so in the little package that I received, I got the 3 paints here, and I got some nice little stickers too, which I appreciate. I like free things. And I also got a pencil too, but it's over the other side of the studio and I can't be asked to get it. It's a pencil. And I'm going to be doing a comparison with these 3 paints. I'm going to compare them to System 3 Titanium White, which is a perfectly fine paint. Is it the best paint in the world? No, but it does the job. It's alright, I've been using it for years. And I'm also going to be comparing it with Stuart Semple's Saint Portion from Culture Hustle. And these little acrylic paints are so good. It absolutely thrashes this paint. They're just so nice. I will leave all the other videos that I've done on their paints down below in the description box, and I'd 100% recommend checking out that video because I just love these. They're expensive, but they're well worth it. And then for my final test as well, I'm going to be adding some Liquitex Black Lava to all of them, just to see what it's like, just for shits and giggles really. And I did do another video where I tested out loads of Liquitex mediums, which you can see in this corner here, if you want to check that out after this video. But I do like this medium, it's quite fun. So I've got some little charts here that I've made up, and first off I'm going to start with the System 3. I'm going to use a separate paintbrush for each paint. I'm going to do a normal swatch of paint and then I'm going to add water straight away so that I don't have to fanny on cleaning brushes throughout. Yeah, System 3, it's really nice. It's more of a gel kind of consistency when it comes to paint, but it does the job very well. You know, you've got full coverage there, it's covered all that black, and it's nice and smooth. And obviously I'll wait for these to dry too so we can see exactly what they look like. But yeah, not bad at all. a typical white paint, and then I'm just gonna add a little bit of water to it just to see how it washes out and see how it kind of mixes with that. Yeah, and the System 3s, they mix very nice with water too. It's actually surprising, I can't remember the System 3 paints being as nice as they are. They're very full coverage and yeah, not bad at all. Now what shall we move on to? We'll go on to the portion one next. That's the thing, I always think that the System 3 paints are good when you first try them, but then when you compare it to one of these, you can just really tell the difference. Like, it's a huge difference. If you're really into your paint, it's just so smooth. I always forget. And this isn't a sponsored video or anything like that, by the way. I have slagged one of their paints off before. Sorry about that. But I can't slag these off because, portion paints, they're just so good. Look at how smooth that is. It might be hard to see on camera what they're actually like, but when you use them in person, it's just such a difference. You think that's full coverage, and then you start to use this one, and you're like, nah. Not at all. I will say as well, the portion paints and the System 3, they've got a different hue to them. System 3 seems to be a warmer white, whereas the portion paint seems to be more of a cooler white, which makes it feel more white. I don't know whether that's just me or whether that's an actual fact. Just mix this with a bit of water as well. You're just so much better. You really are. I just feel like I'm blowing smoke up their arse, I'm sorry. Let's move on to the fun part, these new paints. This is Beta 1. It has, you know what it smells like? I don't know whether I'm supposed to be smelling this, by the way. It smells like emulsion paint. It doesn't smell like a typical acrylic. It's got more of an emulsion smell to it. And apparently the side effects are brightness may dazzle. Okay, what are you going to be like, number 1? It's a lot runnier than the portion pack and all the other paints we've tried. Got it all over my hands already. Okay, I'm not sure which one's which and which one has different characteristics, but Beta 1 is a lot more translucent. It's a lot more runny as well. It doesn't have kind of like a thickness to it. Like if you can see that there, the portion one is covered way better than this one. Some of the black's still coming through. The colour is nice, but yeah, the coverage just isn't there with that one. Still nice and smooth though, and it's showing less brush strokes than the portion one, mainly because it's probably quite thin. Okay, we'll mix a bit of water in with this one. I don't know why, because it already feels quite watery. That's actually quite nice with a bit of water in it. There's not a lot of difference when you mix water in. Yeah, it thins it out a little bit, but it almost makes it a bit more full coverage. It's not bad. I prefer the portion over the Beta 1. So far anyway, we'll see what it looks like when it's dry. Beta 2 time now. I can already tell Beta 2 is thicker than Beta 1. It's quite difficult to see. I'm not sure whether I can see much difference in kind of the hue of the white and how white it is. But it's a nice application, Beta 2, I like that. Colour-wise, I would say Beta 2 and Beta 1 are very similar, if not the same. Let's have a look with a bit of water. I might have thinned Beta 2 out a little bit too much. I think I've added a bit too much water. It's still very nice. Okay, not bad. So far, I would say I prefer Beta 2 over Beta 1. Let's move on to the final one, which is Beta 3. Maybe Beta 3 is slightly thicker than Beta 2. I think it's getting quite difficult now. I think I prefer Beta 3, you know. Beta 3 is very white. I think Beta 3 is going to be the one I prefer. It's very smooth, but it's also very full coverage, and it feels brighter than the last two. Yeah, I'm not mad at that one. I quite like that one. See what it looks like with a bit of water. Yeah, I definitely think I added a bit too much water with the Beta 2, so I won't add as much with this one. Yeah, they've all worked really nice with water. I can already see the difference when it even comes to the portion one. Each 3 of these Beta ones, once they're starting to dry, they have way less brush strokes in them. They feel a little bit more full coverage, more smoother. And it's hard to beat the portion paints, I'll tell you that. I'll put them to one side and let them dry. Right, now time to mix up some Liquitex medium into them. And I'm gonna go for like quite a chunky, thick layer with this one. Because obviously we've thinned it out, so we wanna know what it looks like, kind of like quite a textured effect. I'm also gonna be using a palette knife for this one too. So straight away, I think my first impressions, I would say I like Beta 2 and Beta 3. I'm not a huge fan of Beta 1, mainly because it feels very thin and transparent. However, that could all change once they're dry, so I'm gonna hold off my judgment so far. But I'll leave them for a couple of hours and then we'll meet back and we can go over the swatches and see which one we like the most. Right, so I'm back. It's been a good couple of hours and everything's dry for the most part. So it's time to go over the results. So cue the dramatic music and hit the lights. Is that good? Yeah, okay, good, great. Not stupid at all. So starting off with the paint on its own, it's quite a difficult one. I would say I think Beta 3 is better. Strangely enough, you know, I think the portion paint is whiter than all of the Beta paints. This one here, it's going to be almost impossible, and I'm talking by like millimeters, but I feel like the portion one is slightly whiter than the Beta paints. I think the only one that gives it a run for its money is Beta 3 for whiteness. However, what I do like about all three of the Beta paints is they're a lot smoother than the portion paint, and they're a lot more matte as well. Whereas the portion one's got a little bit of a shine, the Beta ones don't have any shine really. Well, Beta 1 does. The thing is, the changes are so subtle, it's quite hard. And obviously you can tell with the System 3 one, all four of them paints show System 3 completely up. System 3 looks like dog shit compared to them four. And then you've also got it with added water, and obviously I watered down Beta 2 a bit too much, but Beta 1's performed really well when watered down. And then you've got all the paints there mixed in with the Liquitex medium, and they're not fully dry yet because I just don't have time. But I think they all look pretty much the same really. Don't think there's a lot of difference actually. So if it came to it, I would say I would like the finished white 2.0 to be a combination of Beta 3 and Beta 1. Beta 2's not bad, but I think Beta 1 performs better when mixed with water, and Beta 3 performs better on its own, but it's a lot harder to tell whether it's much whiter. I do think the Beta versions have a cooler tone to the other two paints, the portion and the System 3, but again it's so subtle. But I think my final conclusion and my final thoughts on this is I would be happy if white 2.0, if that's what it's going to end up being called, I'm not entirely sure. And obviously I know that these are tests. This is not a finished product at all. If the finished product ended up being a combination of Beta 1 and Beta 3, and then somehow improved on it slightly, maybe add a little bit of the whiteness from the portion paint, then I think it would be literally the perfect whitest paint ever. It would be so nice. But again, that's me being incredibly critical and very picky. And I do think Stuart Semple and Culture Hustle have done a very good job. It's not surprising to us at all. I think there just needs to be a tiny bit of tweaking, and then I think they would have a really good paint on their hands. But hopefully you enjoyed it too. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and feel free to share your thoughts down below in the comments. I know in my Black 2.0 and 3.0 video, there were a lot of people who had a lot of opinions, and a lot of people disagreed with us, and that's absolutely fine. You're more than welcome to. But anyway, I'll see you on Friday for a brand new video. Bye!